AJHL fans, and welcome to another episode of Around the AJHL. My name is Brandon Ewanchyshyn from the Spruce Grove Saints, joined alongside Nathan Crosby from the Brooks Bandits. Nathan, lots of things to get to this week, but first off, we need to touch on the Humboldt Broncos. 3 years ago, this past week was the anniversary of that tragedy in Saskatchewan. I know I had several ties to members of that team. You did as well. Everybody could say the same thing in that respect. Just want to take a moment and acknowledge those young men and women on that bus, and that we're thinking about them every day, but more importantly this week.
Absolutely. And I don't think there's anyone in Canada that didn't have some sort of connection to that terrible tragedy. And we all feel so sad thinking about it still. And it's been 3 years, which is hard to believe. Something unthinkable like that happened now. And we've had this time to this time has passed since then, but it still hurts every April 6th of every year to think about that terrible day on that bus. And once again, our thoughts and prayers go out to the families and friends of the victims, also the survivors, and everyone within the community of Humboldt and the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. It can't be easy every year for them to revisit this, but I think it's important that we do acknowledge and reflect on what happened. And speaking of survivors, I just want to say that I just picked up Crossroads, the new Caleb Dahlgren book. And, that picture says it all right there. What a great picture. And really looking forward to reading this. So, and I encourage everyone to pick this up and read it.
I know that the Bandits played on April 6th, and I just want to acknowledge your organization. You guys did a fantastic job pre-game and throughout the intermissions to honor the members of that team and the staff, and just a wonderful job by you guys to continue their legacy and their memory during that game.
Oh, appreciate it. And thank you for coming on. I know you were part of the broadcast as well. So yeah, we definitely, every year, April 6th, we need to take time to remember these people. And I saw the Spruce Grove Saints on April 7th actually were promoting the Logan Boulay organ donation, which is awesome to see as well.
My pleasure. And yeah, like you said, during that interview, their legacies continue to live on in a very positive way, especially with Boulay and Green Shirt Day. The amount of organ donations that have skyrocketed since he did that is unbelievable. And he's just one example of many. So it's wonderful to see those guys' memories live on here as time goes on here down the road. Flipping gears now to the NCAA, the AJHL was proud to have 8 alumni play in the NCAA Frozen Four tournament, which is underway in Pittsburgh, between St. Cloud State, University of Minnesota Mankato, the University of Minnesota Duluth, and the University of Massachusetts. I know that former Saints goaltender Matt Murray was huge a few nights ago, 36 stops in the semifinal win, taking his squad and UMass to the national championship game. But Nathan, he's one of 7 others that are competing in that tournament that used to play in the Alberta Junior Hockey League.
Great for the league to see our former players on the big stage in the Frozen Four, and the games have been excellent. Like the 2 semifinals on Thursday, that's as good as it gets. St. Cloud State featuring 3 AJ alum in Jared Cockrell, who played for the Bandits, Kyler Kupka with the Kodiaks, and Zachary Okabe with the Grand Prairie Storm. And that was a great game. Cloud had the 3-1 lead, and then Mankato was able to pull ahead 4-3, and then Cloud tied, and then scored the go-ahead goal with like a minute to go. Great hockey game. And congratulations to St. Cloud State, because I know that they had to exorcise some demons from past tournaments of being a high seed and getting knocked out. So great to see them make their final. And UMass, which obviously the Bandits have very strong ties to UMass, with Cale Makar going and winning a Hobie Baker there and taking that team to the national title game 2 years ago. Of course, his younger brother Taylor will be going to UMass as well. And then we have Oliver Chow on the team right now, and Matt Murray from the Spruce Grove Saints. So that's really awesome to see. And UMass, the Minnesota Duluth kind of was a thorn in their side 2 years ago, and UMass able to get some revenge on them in overtime in another thrilling game. So we're going to have UMass versus St. Cloud in the final. Neither team has ever won a national champion. And selfishly, from a Brooks standpoint, I'm very excited because we have a Bandit on both sides. So we're going to have a Bandit win a national championship this year.
Very exciting times for the entire AJHL. Kyler Kupka scored a big goal there. He gave St. Cloud the lead 2-1 just 13 seconds after they tied the game at 1. And then you mentioned it, Matt Murray. Interesting situation there where he was not scheduled to start the game, but the starter went down with COVID, so he was thrown into the fire the day before. Day of game, he comes in, makes 36 stops, and takes his team to a national championship game in overtime. So congratulations to him.
It was a crazy game, and Duluth had a chance there, end of the third, to put it away. That goal that just Murray just got a piece of it with the left pad, and it just like redirected just wide of the post. It could have easily gone in, and it might have been a different story. But it almost seems like UMass is they have something to prove after making it to the title game in 2019. And losing to Duluth, and then last year, of course, COVID canceled the national tournament. No, it's been excellent. And if you haven't been watching it, make sure you watch the national final Saturday night on TSN.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. Flipping back to the AJHL, the first round of cohorts has officially wrapped up. The AJHL North, the Fort McMurray Oil Barons. A great first round for them. They pick up 6 wins. They sit with 22 points now. A little bit of a spread there until the Sherwood Park Crusaders down with 13, followed by Whitecourt, Drayton Valley, Bonnyville, Spruce Grove, and Grand Prairie. It'll be interesting to see what the AJHL comes out with here for the next set of cohorts and who each team's going to face. But good to see, again, everybody back on the ice. Great to see that the protocols are working, and really excited for our players to be back on the ice, developing and getting to that next level.
It was a lot of fun, and considering what's happening in the world right now and how tough this has been for everyone, the fact that we are playing is just awesome for the league. And I yes, there's no fans, and that's very tough for every team, for the team and the fans. But we are very fortunate to be playing, and I know that many teams in our league have been put in some very difficult situations over the last month with some positive COVID tests and have cohorts having to shut down. And we've had to shuffle games. In the cohort I'm in with Okotoks and Calgary, there was a bit of, there was cancellations and moving games and rescheduling. And then we had a surprise Good Friday game at home versus the Canucks. So, I mean, it is all very day to day still, but I'll take that any day over the alternative. And the hockey's actually been, I know they've been off for a few months here, but I've been very impressed by every team right now with how they've been able to overcome all of this and play some pretty good hockey for us.
Yeah, it's been excellent to watch. It's just a testament to the members of the league office for getting this protocol in place and getting us back on the ice. And then the members of the AJHL to, like you said, continue to hold that standard of excellence and put a good product on the ice every single night.
Absolutely. And as for, what's stood out to me so far, you mentioned Fort McMurray, and we've talked about them on past episodes, but obviously the Oil Barons are having a very strong return to play so far. I think Spruce Grove and Fort Mac, it'd be time for them to see some other teams now. And I think Sherwood Park and Bonnyville would probably agree with that. I know this from our experience because Brooks ended up just playing Calgary in our cohort because Okotoks had to sit for 14 days. So it did kind of, it started to feel like a lot of the Calgary Canucks. And so I think it's good to start seeing some other teams. And I'm really interested to see who they're going to put us with. In my personal opinion, I would love to see Brooks in a cohort with Drumheller, travel reasons for one thing, but also it's never a dull game when the Dragons and Bandits play. So that would be awesome. And I would still love to see Brooks and Okotoks get some games in that, since we had 3 that were canceled in this last cohort. So I think there's some unfinished business there.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens in the North. Everybody loves the Spruce Grove Sherwood Park game. Everybody loves the Saints and Whitecourt games. Doesn't really matter who it is. It's all going to be competitive. It's all going to be exciting. And at the end of the day, like you said, we're just glad to be back playing hockey. It's lots of fun. Speaking of the Drumheller Dragons, though, we have Myles Hillman on this week. And then on the other side from the AJHL North, we have Dexter Moselle from the Drayton Valley Thunder.
Our first guest this week on Around the AJHL is the captain of the Drumheller Dragons, Myles Hilman, joining us now. Myles, it's great to talk to you. It's been an interesting return to play around the league, but focusing on the hockey side of things, first of all, we've seen some pretty good weekends out of the Drumheller Dragons. From your perspective, how do you think the team has looked so far?
Thanks for having me on the show here. I think, we've had a really good start to the year. Obviously, including those first 2 games before the return to play. We're a 500 team, so it's been all right. Had some good games here for sure in the return to play. Some good hockey, playing some good opponents. So it's been super fun, and yeah, I think it's been really, really good hockey for sure.
Myles, you're committed to the University of Nebraska Omaha. What have your conversations been like with that school, and how excited are they to see you back playing again here this season?
They've been really happy that we were able to start up again. Not a lot of leagues have been able to do that across Canada here. So they were really happy to hear that I was going to be able to get back on the ice and get back to practice. And just trying to keep the communication lines open through this has been, a big part of it. They were obviously very busy with their year down there as well, but just trying to talk back and forth, make sure we're open with each other, and then hopefully try and get some visits done once all this COVID blows over here.
Man, I look at like some of the things they tweet out of like their arena and some of the video they do. For one thing, they do an outstanding job promoting themselves. That is a program to watch for sure, the Omaha program. And hey, they made the tournament this year, so you have to be pretty excited to be committed to that school.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, it was huge for them to make the tournament this year. I know they're very excited, and they definitely got some good promotion down there. It's going really well for them right now. They're definitely trending up, and I'm super excited that they gave me the opportunity to join their program.
Myles, I just want to circle back to the Dragons for a moment. And of course, you're the captain of the team and the youngest captain in Dragons history, I'm told. What does that mean to you?
Obviously it's a huge honor, the trust that the organization's placed in me. When I heard that, I couldn't really, describe the feeling. It was pretty cool to receive an honor like that. Obviously I've got, the rest of the team's great assistant captains, great coaching, and it really makes it enjoyable to be captain of the team for sure.
Myles, previous to you playing in the AJHL, you're up here in the Edmonton area with the Northern Alberta Extreme. Talk about your time with that program and how that development was crucial now to your AJHL career.
For sure. Like my time up there at NAX was some of the best times I've ever had playing hockey. They do a great job up there, developing players skill wise, away from the rink in school. I have great academic advisors and that kind of thing. And I know it was just a really, really fun experience, road trips with the fellas out to the coast to play or all the way to Winnipeg. It was a really enjoyable year and just great development all around.
And one championship as well.
Yep. Yeah. Can't forget about that. That was such a cool experience to be able to win that and bring that back to the organization. It was just fantastic.
Seems like you got a pretty young team there in Drumheller this season. A lot of turnover from the previous years, but the one thing that hasn't turned over is the coaching staff. And we're talking about Kevin Hasselberg, and you mentioned him just a few minutes ago. How has Kevin helped you develop?
He's been an integral part of my hockey development over the last couple of years, and great coach. Even better at coaching you personally off the ice, and knows what each individual player needs, and he's definitely helped me to grow not only as a hockey player but as a person away from the rink. To hone my skills as a leader and also on the ice. He's second to none for sure with his coaching ability on the ice. So no, it's been great to work with him and have him help me through my career.
Drum's a pretty cool town. Like I lived there for a few years, and it's such a unique place in Alberta. And it's also a unique place to play your junior hockey. Can you speak to what it's like to be playing in a smaller town like Drumheller and the support that the team gets there and your experience playing there?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously the small town vibes are never a bad thing, and I know that. A lot of people here, the fans like us, everyone knows who you are when you're around town, and the connections you can build in a smaller community and the support you get from people are pretty much unmatched. It's always the same people coming to your games every weekend or weekday, and you get to see them day in, day out. So it's really special when you get to build connections like that. Sometimes you're not able to do that if it's a big city and that kind of thing, but when you're pretty localized, it's a pretty special feeling to know everybody.
Speaking of small towns, you're from Blackfalds. Black Falls now has an AJHL team coming into the league next year. Are you pretty excited to see your hometown get their own team?
Yeah, that's a pretty cool feeling. You know, I know a lot of guys from around there are looking to step in and possibly play for that team. A lot of my buddies. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see them get going here. Hopefully it'll go well for them in their first year. But yeah, it was awesome. You know, I know the coach there, Doug Quinn, or the general manager. I don't know who he's going to coach, but I know him a bit there when I played in Red Deer. So I'm sure they'll do well, and definitely a great organization. I'm excited for them.
Myles, what are you into besides hockey? I mean, I'm sure hockey is your life, but what can you tell us about the things in your life that you do that aren't hockey related?
I don't know. I'm trying to do a whole bunch of stuff here, but you know, as far as what I enjoy farming. You know, coming from a small town, you know, that's kind of my thing. Is, you know, being a
right
farmer,
on,
working out on the land. But no, as far as other hobbies, you know, I like to play handball. It's kind of a weird sport, but something I turned out to be pretty good at in school. So that's one of the other things I enjoy. And yeah, other than that, you know, not much. Just I enjoy sitting at home with my family. But yeah, it's pretty one-minded here as far as hockey. But
I'm good, Nathan.
Cool. Hey, I wish like we need to have. I think handball needs to make a comeback here, because like I remember playing it in high school and it was so much fun, and like I'd love to see it just become like as big as some of the other sports we play here. Yeah. So we'll let you lead the charge on that one.
Yeah,
we'll help promote it.
Time for that, but I'd make a bit of a comeback. My school's pretty big into it back home there. I go to school in Bentley, and they're a pretty big handball school. That's kind of their calling card. So it was hard for me not to get a little bit involved. But.
Awesome. Well, Myles, it was great to catch up with you. And obviously, I'm hoping that we can get some Brooks Drumheller games in this return to play coming up. We'll wait and see what lies ahead for the new cohorts. But I think we're long overdue for a Dragons Bandits game, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It'd be great to get some more games for sure. And looking forward to coming to Brooks and playing.
It'd be awesome. Myles, appreciate your time. Best of luck the rest of the way here. And congratulations so far on the successes of the season.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on.
As Around the AJHL continues, we are now joined by 20-year-old assistant captain of the Drayton Valley Thunder, Dexter Moselle. Dexton, thanks for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I really appreciate you guys having me out here.
Talk about that first cohort series. Seemed like anybody could win on any night. Yourselves, Grand Prairie, and Whitecourt. What was that like?
It was definitely a hard fought series. We weren't really sure. We didn't know too much about the teams, but we quickly found out that no game was an easy game by no means. Every game was there's some hard fought games. There's some fights. It was a high intensity. It was a really good series.
Yeah, it seemed like it was an excellent cohort just with the competitiveness between the three teams, and it must have been really disappointing, obviously, with all the health and safety measures we have, that you guys didn't get to finish that cohort.
Yeah, definitely wish we can go back for more, because I feel like if it was we had playoffs or whatever the case would be, that would definitely be a playoff series, whether those two would face each other or we play one of those two teams.
Dexton, Eric Thurston comes into the organization, takes over a few seasons ago. What's his stamp been like on the organization so far as the head coach and GM?
He has been nothing but terrific. His whole motto is to build character off the ice, and then the play will come on the ice. And I was fortunate enough to be there from day one when Eric took over. And every year it's been a gradual progression and getting better and better. And not only as a hockey player, as a hockey team, but as people. That's the main goal there, is to become better people and better characters within the community. And Eric's been nothing but fantastic for the organization in Drayton Valley.
Does it seem like Eric really brings a lot of accountability to this? That's what it seems like to us. Is that how you would describe him?
Absolutely. I think he's a very fair coach. If you feel you're doing something wrong and you want to go talk to him, he'll give you a straight, honest answer. And if you feel like that, if you feel like you can be on the power play, then he'll put you on the power play and he'll give you those opportunities. He wants nothing but for you to succeed, and he'll give you those opportunities to succeed. He'll definitely hold you accountable for your actions as well. So I can't thank Eric enough for being a terrific coach on and off the ice.
What was it like for you and your teammates when he told you guys that you were going to continue to play this season, especially because it's your 20-year-old year right now?
Yeah, like we got here in August and we're training, and then when we got sent home just before Christmas there, and then we got told just after Christmas we were able to come back. It was definitely a sign of a relief, and we're getting ready to go back into the season. And our team kind of took it as an off season, right? That trying to stay as close as we can together, contacting through FaceTime and Zoom and all that stuff. But when he told us we can come back and play, everyone was more than ready to come back and to continue that success on the ice.
Your third year with the team, Dexton, how important is it that the Drayton Valley Thunder get back to the competitive team that we saw that they were? It's been a few years now, and there were some tough years for Drayton Valley before you got there. And it seems like ever since Eric Thurston has got there, this team is really starting to trend in the right direction. And that town, with the size of that town and how much they support that Thunder, how important is it to make sure that keeps going in the right direction?
I think it's very important. I think it's going to happen. There's some great young players that are coming up in the organization that from years to come will be fantastic. But it's definitely important that the community has a hockey team here that can give back to them and be very successful, because they're first and foremost extremely supportive of us. Where we go, whether it's restaurants or whether it's just schools, the town is nothing but supportive for us and our team. So we're very thankful for them, and it was definitely great to see, like over the years and the seasons and playoffs, is the building get packed more and more almost every game. And so it was, unfortunately we couldn't with COVID, like we can't have that right now, but it's definitely very important to me that the team will continue to have success years down the road.
Well, that's what I was thinking about, and we saw you guys when you came down to Brooks back in October, and I said, oh, this is a good team. And it's a shame. And I understand why we can't have fans right now, but Drayton's got a good team this year. I wish there could be people in the Omniplex to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that, for sure. I wish there was people there who could see us as well, because it's definitely, it's definitely a lot of fun to play with fans in the stands, obviously.
I think we speak for everybody across the entire league when we say that we miss our fans so dearly, no matter which barn on which night and who the home team or away team is. Everybody wishes there was fans back in the barn. Obviously, like Nathan said, we understand why, but we wish that they were there. Dexton, coming into this season, no uncertain end to it, championship playoff wise. What are some things that you hope to improve on in this short restart season?
Definitely hope just improve my overall of game just by thinking it and playing it, and just getting older and just maturity. I feel like just trying to hope and get a scholarship for school so I can attend somewhere in the fall and pursue an education and be able to play hockey like many of my teammates have before, like Tanner Hops or Jesse Palmer, like going to school. And I hope that I can just improve that way and just end up getting a scholarship in the fall.
Forgive me, I didn't research this, but I don't know how many players we've had in the AJHL in recent times that have dual citizenship to Canada and Australia. Can you just talk about your background and your Aussie heritage? Yeah.
So many years ago, before I was born, my dad went to school, and then he went to go, when he was all finished his program, he went to go visit his sister, and ended up staying for an X amount of years and just applied for citizenship. And then I have it here, and I have family over there, so I've visited there a few times, and it's definitely been a goal of mine to somewhat play down the road, maybe in Australia or with an Australian jersey on down the road. It's definitely been a goal in the back of my mind, but that's just kind of what I have for the citizenship aspect of it.
Is that flag in the background with the kangaroo? Is that in court? Like, I feel like I've seen an Australian jersey with that kangaroo before.
Yeah, and so the team colors for every Australian Olympics or whatever, it's gold and yellow, and it's usually with a kangaroo. And the boxing kangaroo just have some cousins in Australia who are big into that, and just kind of had that flag for a long time now. So that's just an important staple with my family, and then
that's cool
like that. So
one final one here from me. What's the hockey development like? What's the minor hockey system like over there? What do they got for ranks and on ice time?
I don't know a whole lot, but from when I know it, it's growing a lot. There's a lot more hockey shops. There's a lot more hockey rinks and the leagues out there. It's definitely from what I can see, it's definitely getting only growing more and more. And so it'd be really exciting down the road, say like 20, 30 years from now, that, it's great that the whole hockey game can grow, not only in Canada and the States and in lower markets, say like Arizona or Texas, but across the world and lower markets like Australia. So to me, that's exciting.
Dexton, really appreciate your time here this afternoon. We wish you best of luck here the rest of the way this season. And once again, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, truly appreciate you guys having me on. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Dexton.
That will wrap up episode 5 of Around the AJHL. Special thanks to Myles Hilman from the Drumheller Dragons and Dexter Moselle from the Drayton Valley Thunder for taking some time to join us. Nathan, no AJHL games this weekend, as this is the weekend off for protocol reasons. The league will be back in action on April 16th, but a huge game coming up this weekend featuring some AJHL alumni, like we mentioned earlier, with the NCAA championship game.
Yeah, we'll be glued to the TV Saturday night. UMass versus St. Cloud State. One of those schools will win their first ever national title. So, and I don't know who to cheer for because we have Jared Cockrell and Oliver Chow opposite each other in the game, but I'm just hoping for a great game. And man, this was an awesome episode. Myles, Hilman, Dexter Moselle, both great interviews. So thanks to them.
And from a Saints perspective, we got to cheer for Matt Murray and UMass, as he's probably going to get the start again on Saturday night. So it'll be lots of fun for sure to watch some former AJHL players go at it as they compete for the national championship. It's a big weekend, though. It's also Masters weekend. I don't know if you're a golf fan, Nathan, but there's been some good golf, too.
I am a huge golf fan and looking forward to seeing all these courses in Alberta open up again. We have a great track down in Brooks. You got to come play it. Will do. As soon as I can, I will get down there and swing the clubs with you. But once again, everybody, thanks for watching. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you next week.